The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are in Pakistan. As part of an official tour of that country, the royal couple have been wowing crowds with their traditional dress as they attend receptions and visit hospitals and schools to highlight the importance of education, especially for young girls. Pakistan is making progress on education, but it's a country facing serious challenges, and our next guest knows that all too well. Gulalai Ismail has been an advocate for human rights since she was 16 years old. For many years now, she's been speaking out against abuses, especially towards women and girls. Last year, she began to advocate for victims of alleged sexual abuse by the country's army, and for that, she's paid a heavy price. As she explained to our Michelle Martin, she felt she had to flee her homeland.
Gulalai Ismail, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Pleasure.
You've said a couple of times that in interviews that you didn't want to leave Pakistan. I mean, that was not your goal, that was not your intention. I mean, one of the reasons that many people became concerned is that a couple of months ago, you disappeared and no one knew where you were. And, you know, here you are in New York, you've asked for political asylum. What happened that caused you to feel you had to leave?
So I had been working on human rights for past 17 years. I started with working on young women's rights, championing the cause for girls' education, political participation of young women. I was training young women to take active part in elections. I was training young women to be election monitors. And I'm so proud to say that in 2015, when local elections were happening, 10 young women who were trained by our organization, they were running for public offices. So that was a kind of work that I was doing. In 2009, I think the world will remember that how militancy became a big phenomenon, religious extremism became a big phenomenon in Pakistan, and some areas of Pakistan were taken in control by Taliban, and they were recruiting young people in militant organizations. That was the point in my life when I decided that, you know, I need to work with young people to prevent them from being recruitment in militant organizations. Young people do not deserve to be suicide bombers. Young people do not deserve to be militants. They deserve to have a happy life. They deserve. So we started a network, Youth Peace Network. And
so you were expanding your work beyond your specific and original focus on young women and girls. Did you feel at that time safe, though, even though what you were doing was not universally appreciated or applauded or even taken seriously?
When we were working, we were having an impact, but most of the people in the community, they thought, oh, they are just young women. They are just these crazy young women who are westernized and who want to bring in Western ideologies. So initially, we were always safe because as young women, we thought we will never be targeted. But it changed in 2013 when for the first time our house was attacked by unknown gunmen. They came at our door, knocking at our door, threatening my family that if we didn't stop working, if we didn't stop westernizing our society, then we shall remain, ready for consequences. That was the time that I knew that, oh, our work is actually having a huge impact on the society, and that is why some people are feeling so threatened that they want to silence us at any cost.
Did you have a sense at the time of who was opposing you?
The attacks were always by unknown. You know, no one ever took responsibility. So it was really difficult to figure out that who are the people who are attacking us, who are the people that do not like our work. But then we also come from a country where when state is against you, especially when the security agencies of the country do not like your work, then you are often attacked through unknown people. So we knew that when unknown people attack you without anyone taking responsibility for it, then the chances are high that the state security agencies are behind the attack.
What exactly did they think you were doing that they wanted you to stop?
In my case, it started with a deadly blasphemy campaign online. I was accused of blasphemy for being a women's rights activist.
Which is a crime in Pakistan, right? Blasphemy is a crime.
Blasphemy is a crime, and you can be punished with death sentence. And not only that, the law will, the courts can give you death sentence, but also once you are accused of blasphemy, people can kill you in mob lynching. You know, one day I woke up, I was checking my social media, and I saw a video out there. There was a young man who had said that my work on women's rights is irreligious, immoral, anti-Islam, and that I am a tumor to the society. I need to be finished. He threatened me that he will kill me, and he also asked other people to come and kill me. So, and that campaign became viral on the internet. For 3 months, there was so much hate against me on the internet. People were inciting violence against me. People would give me death threats. Some would give me rape threats. Some would give me mob lynching threats. And then protests started against me in my own city. Yeah, people would just come up and, ask to ban me or to, do something against me because I'm anti-Islam, anti-culture, and anti-state.
How did you deal with that?
At that time, I wanted to stand on my ground. So I decided that I will use state to get protection of myself. So I went to police, and also, at that time, police took my complaint seriously. The video was taken off the internet because the video was very dangerous. And the young man who was leading the campaign, his bail was cancelled, and he was sent to jail for 1 week, around 1 week. So that kind of, set a precedent in the country that no, you cannot threaten women when they speak out for themselves, when they speak out for their rights. And if you do, then there will be consequences to it.
Having prevailed in that case, what made you feel you had to leave now?
At that time, a movement emerged in our region. It was a coincidence that right at that time, a movement emerged against the state-enforced terrorism. It is known as Pashtun Tahfuz movement. The movement was sparked by extrajudicial killing of a young man. He was labeled as terrorist by police, and he was killed in a fake police encounter. Because of that incident, countrywide protests sparked, and those protests, they led into a long march. Thousands of people, they came to Islamabad. Most of them were young people from the tribal areas of Pakistan. Tribal areas are the areas of Pakistan which had remained a hub of terrorism for more than 2 decades. The state of Pakistan has been using tribal areas to harbor its proxies and use those Taliban militant organizations as proxies in Kashmir and Afghanistan. And then after 9/11, when there was a lot of international pressure on Pakistan to become a partner on war against terrorism, and Pakistan was facing international pressure, so military counter-terrorism operations were done in these tribal areas. However, what might the world not know is that most of the leaders of the terrorist organizations, they were given safe exit already. And in the counter-terrorism operations, most of the people who were targeted were common, innocent people. Their homes were destroyed. Millions of people got displaced.
Your allegation is what? That they are using the tribal areas as a cover for their failure to control these terrorist groups? So what is your theory of the case of the Pakistani security forces?
Our theory is that Pakistan military has been facilitating terrorist organizations. They had been promoting and protecting terrorist organizations so that they can be used. They have not just turned blind eye. They are partner in the crime. And the most important, as part of Pashtun Tahfuz movement, the most important thing for us is that the military shall be held accountable for the human rights abuses that have been committed in the Pashtun regions. The tribal regions of Pakistan, they were kept as a black hole. There was Pakistan constitution did not apply over there. Pakistani laws did not apply over there. There was a different kind of, they were ruled, they were governed by different kind of laws. People did not have access to free and fair trial. Media was not allowed. Civil society was not allowed to monitor the conflict. So for a long time, for decades, the world was not knowing that what is actually happening in the tribal areas. But then after this movement emerged, thousands of people came together and they are asking for justice. Thousands of people are asking for putting an end to war economy. The basic problem in the whole, in Pakistan is that our economy is war economy. It is fueled by war. We are depending on aid from the US in the counterterrorism operations, and we will keep on receiving aid on counterterrorism operation only if there is a problem of terrorism.
So your argument is that the people in this area have essentially been held hostage, both by Pakistani military forces, security forces, and also by terrorists, and that they're basically caught in the middle. Yeah. And your argument is that you have now been targeted because you're speaking up for them.
Yes.
You've been working on this for so long, for like 17 years, and all this time, I mean, you've certainly left the country to meet with other activists and significant figures around the world, but this is the first time you felt that you had to flee for your life.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It was November 2018 when the intelligence agencies of Pakistan, they approached me. They called me for a meeting. They said that, we want to settle the matter with you. So we want to have a meeting with you. They called me to their district headquarters. And when I went there...
You actually did go?
I actually did go. My father did not want me to go, but I wanted to go and see what's happening. And my father was afraid that they would just take me from there and they can make me a missing person. So he went with me there. And when we went to the meeting, I did ask them, what is your problem? Like, there thousands of people are coming and participating in the protest. I am not the only one, but why you are targeting me? And they told me, because you are an internationally recognized human rights activist. When you are part of the movement is seen as a credible movement internationally by the international community. And that is why we do not want you to be part of the movement.
And what did they say? I mean, did they specifically tell you to stop talking? Like, what did they make demands of you? Or
oh, yeah. They told my father that if you do not make sure that she's silent and she does not support the movement onwards, we are going to kill her. Then
they told you to your face?
They told it on the face of my father that we will kill her if she does not stop supporting the movement, if you do not control her, if she is not silenced onward, we will kill her. And it's just so easy for her to, to promote the narrative that she has been killed either by Afghanistan or by the movement itself, because movements need martyrs, and she will become the first martyr of the movement. And they said it on the face of my father that we will kill her. And what next?
To the degree that you can, without compromising the safety of others, how did you get out?
My pictures were pasted on all borders of Pakistan under the most wanted list. So my pictures were everywhere. I heard from different friends that they have deployed, Pakistan security forces have deployed special people on the borders who were looking for me so that I cannot leave Pakistan. However, I had a small security net. My friends went out and they went to all borders of Pakistan. They did a research on every possible means, on every possible safest means to get out of Pakistan. They found a way for me.
What about here? I mean, you're in New York at the moment. You do have family here. Do you feel safe here? I mean, there's a large Pakistani community here. I mean, do you feel that the reach of the security forces extends this far? Or do you feel that the laws of the United States is sufficient?
I came to the U.S. with the vision of getting protection. The protection which I could not get in my own country, the country where I always wanted to live, the country which I never wanted to leave. But I was made feel so unsafe that I couldn't live there anymore. I would not say that I left Pakistan. I was forced to leave Pakistan. That was not my choice. That was, that the state compelled me to leave the country. Now I am here seeking protection, and I hope that this is a free society. I believe that the state here will protect me. However, feeling safe is not a magic bullet. On the few days ago, there was a protest in front of United Nations. Some of my friends were from the movement. They were holding a protest when Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, was speaking in United Nations. And on that day, hundreds of people were protesting in front of UN because of the Kashmir issue. And many of the protesters were also pro-Pakistani, pro-ISI people who were there in the protest. Our protest, which was against state-enforced terrorism in Pakistan and for peace in Pakistan, we were a small group of 25 people. And when these pro-ISI Pakistani people came to know that I was also there in the protest, hundreds of them came down to our protest and they started shouting at me that I'm a traitor, and they were giving very vulgar signs as if they were harassing me and giving me rape threats. So their body language was very vulgar.
That had to have been frightening.
I felt so sad when I looked at them, because I was like, look, here I am, someone who just left everything in a struggle of survival, who left her family, who left her country, and came here so that she can survive, she can speak out. And we are just a small group of 25 people, but you will not even let me speak here. Though if I speak about, I don't know how big of impact I can have if I speak in front of UN in a small protest. Like, it was a small voice, but they were not even tolerant to our small group of people, to our voice.
What do you hope to gain by speaking out here?
I am hoping that by being here, I am defying the Pakistan state's aim of silencing me. My purpose of being here is to keep on raising voice about the human rights abuses that have been committed in the Pashtun region by Pakistan military. By speaking out, I am hoping that I will be able to get justice for thousands of people who are victim of enforced disappearances, who are victim of extrajudicial killing. By coming here and by speaking out, I hope to achieve peace for my people. I hope to achieve peace in Pakistan. And I also, in the past 4 months, I have experienced that when you are a woman peace builder and when you are at risk by the state, by your own state, there is so little support for you out there. I had my sister in the US, and she was speaking out and she was making sure that my case is not forgotten, that people are listening, people are aware that there is a peace activist who is in danger, whose life is in danger, and she needs to be rescued. But I am just one lucky person who had a sister and who had international support of international community, some peace organizations, international organizations who kept on raising voice for me. Not every woman peace builder, not every human rights defender is that lucky. And by coming here, I want to become voice of those human rights defenders whose life is at risk in their own countries and there is no one to speak out for them.
I understand that as a citizen of Pakistan that you don't feel called to criticize the policies of the United States, but I do want to ask if you are concerned about the current political environment in the United States, which has become, I don't know whether the word is hostile. In some quarters, it is more hostile to people seeking political asylum. And does that concern you?
I know that the world is becoming unfriendly to migration. Now, countries do not want people from other countries, even when they are at risk, even when their life is at risk, they don't, they're not welcomed. So it makes you feel like a stateless person. It makes you feel as if, if you are being persecuted by your own country, then you have nowhere to go. So you remain in a state of limbo, and it is a very painful situation when you when you're not sure where to look forward, to whom you can look forward to whom you can look up to for protection. So it is it's a difficult situation.
So before we let you go, though, is there anything giving you hope right now?
When I look at the young people in my country and I look at the collective power of young people, they are coming together for peace. I have never seen something that beautiful. When I would be standing back home and I would be standing in a protest and there would be 50,000 people, 70,000 people together in one place asking for peace. That gives me hope. I think the collective power of young people to ask for peace is the most powerful thing in the world.
Gulalai Ismail, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you.